morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tasya Zalsabila Untono. I am the LSPR Communications and Business Institute Indonesia student under the supervision of Mr. Charles Bonar Sirait as my mentor and lecturer. I'm here today to talk to you about a climate change issue that is very important for the sustainable world, and I would like to present the sustainable issue include climate change in Indonesia as a part of important sustainable world issue. So everybody, let's talk about climate change. People calling this is a crisis of our time. Well, it is. A climate change itself is a change in the pattern of weather and related change in ocean, land surface, and ice sheets, occurring over time scales of decades or longer. The main cause of climate change is global warming, which has many negative consequences of physical, biological, and human systems, as well as other effects. Global warming is caused by the greenhouse effect, a natural process by which the atmosphere retains some of the sun's heat, allowing the Earth to maintain the necessary condition to host life. Without the greenhouse effect, the average temperature of the planet would be minus 18 degrees Celsius. The problem is that daily human activity maximizes the greenhouse effect, causing the planet's temperature to increase even more. So, when did humans first begin to cause climate change? The experts agree that the Industrial Revolution was the turning point when the emission of the greenhouse gases effect entering the atmosphere begins to soar. The Industrial Revolution was itself born out of smaller revolutions: agricultural, technological, demographic, transport, finance, that creating a new model of production and consumption. From then onward, population growth in 1750, there were fewer than 800 million people on Earth, whereas now we are over 7.5 billion people on Earth. Exploding resource use, increasing energy demand and production mainly from fossil fuels, all saw the planet enter into what the scientific community have termed the Anthropocene period, a new geological era characterized by human impact on Earth. The main impact was the increase in the global temperature of the planet, which has risen 1.1 degrees Celsius since the period, although it is estimated that by the end of the present century, the thermometer could rise by 2.7 degrees Celsius. Even if national commitments to reduce emissions are fulfilled, climate change is one of the SDG points, which number 30, called climate action. Sustainable Development Goals 13 aims to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact, while acknowledging that the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change is the primary international intergovernmental forum for negotiating the global response to climate change. More specific, the associate targets of SDG 13 focus on the integration of climate change measures into national policy, the improvement of education, awareness raising, and institutional capacity on climate change mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction, and early warnings. SDG 13's alphabetical targets also call for the implementation of the commitment undertaken at the UNFCCC and for the promotion of mechanisms able to increase capacity for the effective climate change related planning and management in least developed countries and small island developing states. So I have one case study to share to you from Nestle. Nestle-led condition. Actually, addressing climate change, Nestle said, cannot be delayed any longer, and neither can we. Nestle undertakes a business transformation to reduce greenhouse gases by 2030 and achieve net zero by 2050. From now until 2025, Nestle will accelerate and expand the work already undertaken to achieve a 20% reduction in emission. Between 2025 and 2030, Nestle will transform their operation to achieve a 50% reduction of emission. And finally, from 2030 to 2050, Nestle will work to balance their emissions by exploring how they offset any remaining emission through high-quality carbon removal projects or innovating, the result of which will be net zero emission. To achieve those milestones, Nestle are taking action across agriculture, their operation and products, including protecting trees and landscape that helps absorb carbon and planting 20 million trees every year for the next 10 years. 2. Working with farmers to shift to regenerative ways of growing ingredients for food, including for the products that Nestle produce. 3. Ending the deforestation in Nestle primary in supply chains by 2020. 4. Completing the transition to 100 renewable electricity in the 187 countries by 2025, increasing the number of carbon neutral for the customer to opportunity contribute to the fight against climate change. From the Nestle, we can conclude it to tackling climate change can wait and neither can we. It is imperative to the long-term success of our business. We will work together with farmers, industry partners, governments, non-governmental organizations, and our consumers to reduce our environmental footprint. As we bring our climate change in Indonesia as a part of important sustainable world issue, I would like to thank you for your attention and hope this sharing session will give all of you a clear understanding of climate change issue in Indonesia. If you have need further and detailed information about the climate change, kindly comment in the comment section below from this video, and have a great sustainable world. Thank you.